Boom.
What are we doing here, people?
Nothing. Whining. Whinging.
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And as per usual, before we launch in, today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. And of course, by me and my tea company, Lions Tea Exchange. In addition to my regular wonderful flavors, I now have 3 new limited edition flavors that are now available on the site for pre-sale. I think they're all really good, but I am a huge fan of the peppermint white chocolate, but you guys seem to be really excited about the bourbon barrel try. No surprises there. I also have these beautiful wooden gift boxes that are available too for pre-sale for the holiday season, or just generally if you want a beautiful box. And as you guys know, these are made here in the US of A.
That is a nice
box. The company that I work with plants a tree for every order placed, which honestly I think is pretty cool. I will link all of this in the description box if you would like to support my channel and my tea company. It all means a lot and I love you guys very much. Okay, back to the video. Now, I will say ahead of time that I know we've been talking a lot on this channel recently about video games and entertainment and whatever, but there's a lot happening in the industry and I like commenting on it. So with that said and that in mind, I do know that some of you have been missing my normal deep divey kind of content about other topics, and I do have a couple of those in the works. They are coming. They just take longer to produce because there's a lot of editing and researching that goes into them, but hopefully the ones that I'm working on you will enjoy. So please be patient. I will once again be mama bird vomiting long form content into your face holes very soon. I'm sorry for that.
Why does she have to be so descriptive? She's nasty. She's nasty.
I'm having a Anyway, I'm sure that many of you have seen the recent news that Sucker Punch Productions is working on a Ghost of Tsushima 2 called The Ghost of Yotei, which is set to be released sometime in 2025. Based on the game's short announcement trailer, we can see that the game's protagonist is a woman called Atsu, and the
Can I just say, why couldn't they give the option of playing both? Or, like, playing whatever you want? Were they... Again, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, because of the whole Assassin's Creed Shadow. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand. Because it's supposed to be how... That costs a lot of money. How does it cost money? If more people buy it out, then... If more people buy your game, why does it matter if it costs more money? I don't understand. It costs twice the money to VA and anime for 2 characters. But Sony has infinite money, they said so.
The game is set in 1603, some 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. Yes, that means no Jin Sakai, and probably no foxes to follow off cliffs. A sad day for us all.
You can follow me, chat, you can follow me. Off of cliffs.
Anyway, even with very little information to go off with relation to the game itself.
I'm not gonna deny it looks good, but like, will it play good? Will it have good dialogue? Will it have a good story? That's what I'm worried about. I'm not gonna completely dismiss it. We'll see.
The internet is already screaming in all directions, with countless predominantly left-wing outlets already reporting that people are mad that the lead character is a woman, that they're accusing the game of being woke, and a former Sony executive even told people that if they don't like it, don't buy it.
That's what I really don't like. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But you make something good, and then people will buy it. For God's sake, the game of the year is Wukong, or probably is going to be game of the year. It's about a fucking monkey.
Don't buy it. Why is this always their go-to advice? And why is it that when people follow this advice, they get accused of bigotry and racism? For God's sake, just pick a lane. Of course, there are already plenty of videos out there all over the place where people are arguing amongst themselves about whether or not the game's female protagonist is a DEI decision or not.
Today was an awful day for...
That's what I really don't like about this trend, is that when you prove something, like when you prove there's a fire where there's smoke, every time there's smoke, people freak out and think it's a fire. That's what I really don't like about this. It makes all girls in the video game like sphere, like characters, fictional characters, look bad like they're a placement. It very well could be that it's not.
Misogynistic racist. It only took gamers a matter of seconds to get upset about the Ghost of Tsushima sequel having a female protagonist. They're already attacking Erika, who plays Atsu, and I thought the whole trailer was just insanely cool. There's also been some complaints about the graphics in the trailer being too similar to Ghost of Tsushima.
That's a stupid complaint. I also think she's being a little bit... Wow, it looks good. It doesn't matter. Show me the gameplay. Show me the story.
Quite possibly one of the most beautiful video games to ever exist. What more do you want? Why aren't you ever happy?
Probably because the entertainment industry keeps giving us stuff like this.
Is he or they with us?
And we can't take it anymore.
These people come out like clockwork. Literally has Sucker Punch gone woke, new female protagonists, all the buzzwords they want to get people's attention with. This guy mentions that the new protagonist is female like 10 different times in this video.
Now,
Well, that's the problem, is that... And then people call me a fucking right-wing grifter. It's insane. And again, if I take the neutral side of like, let me see the game before I pass a complete judgment, I just don't get it. Again, I do think that the actress is really, I'm sure she'll get to it, she's really crazy. I think that she says some really dumb shit. I just hope it doesn't leak into the video game itself. That's what I hope for.
All of this reporting has been true, that people are in fact worried about the game's female lead and are worried that it's going to be woke. I think that there is a deliberate misunderstanding taking place here as to where those fears and concerns are coming from. And largely, this negative reaction so clearly boils down to the fact that people are so used to political messaging in everything that they consume and see these days, that when they come into contact with something that even a little bit resembles it, they have a knee-jerk reaction. And in this case, that includes the perception that the original game's male protagonist has been replaced now with a female protagonist, the personal behavior and opinions of the game's lead actress, Erika Ishii, I think that's how that's pronounced, some of the perceived political opinions of those working on the game, and the overall fatigue and frustration associated with diversity and inclusion and representation being forced into everything.
But we have to wait and see. I think it's a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, but it's been for good reasons, since we've had literal flop after flop after flop. Like, look, if everybody's coughing all the time and then you ask, like, hey, are you sick? It's kind of, like, expected in a way. Like, you might just be coughing because you got an itchy throat. It doesn't mean you're sick. It's just like, it's happened like a million times in a row. Like, I'm sorry for being overreacting. I mean, I think all this fucking woke shit being like, oh my god, females, I hate females. I think that's extreme and I think that's fucking stupid. But holy shit. Yeah, pattern recognition. Like, at some point, I don't know.
You know what won't give you fatigue? Filling your tummy with delicious food, which is why today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh.
Oh,
Cooking
boy.
for yourself can honestly be a challenge. There's the thinking and the planning and watching the lettuce you bought and then never used die in the fridge. I'm sorry. But feeding yourself and those around you doesn't have to be a struggle, thanks to HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service that comes with pre-measured ingredients and easy recipes. It lets you customize your weekly meal plan to suit any lifestyle, with options like vegetarian, quick and easy, and family-friendly meals. HelloFresh also offers a ton of flexibility, allowing you to adjust delivery dates or skip a week as needed. And with more than 50 dinner choices and 30 plus smart calorie and protein smart recipes, there's something for every lifestyle. And the menus change depending on the season, so you're getting food that seasonally makes sense. Best of all, HelloFresh subscribers will get free breakfast for life, meaning you get a free breakfast item with every single HelloFresh delivery. So if you too want to eat yummy food, then click the link in the description or use my code and get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. 1 breakfast item per box while subscription is active if you're in the US. Outside the US, the local discount will apply. Now, I happened upon an article while researching for this video that attempted to make the argument that people shouldn't hate Ghost of Yotei as a game because of the lead actress's behavior in her personal life. The lead actress slash protagonist being Erika Ishii, who is gay and very active in the LGBT community, has expressed interest in people using all pronouns for her, so I don't know, I guess she's like gender fluid or something like that, and really hates Trump supporters. This, of course, has led to a lot of criticism and concern. So, with this in mind, the writer of this article expresses that the hate for Ghost of Yotei is baseless and unnecessary if it's entirely based on Ishii's personal sentiments. He writes, "The game exists independently of their personal life."
I sure fucking hope so. I sure fucking hope so. Because people are gonna fucking remember this. Because Ghost of Tsushima was praised overall for being an amazing game. It better.
And that boundary should be respected. Ah, I see we're doing a they-them thing. How progressive. You know, when I see this kind of thing, it makes me really curious about the motivation behind referring to somebody as a they-them when they've expressly stated that they're perfectly fine being called a woman and having people use female pronouns.
Because they're scared, that's why.
Why do you pick the weird thing?
Because they're scared.
Not this time. It's totally made up.
Stop trying to make non-binary happen. It's not going to happen.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
I won't lie, I do miss the days when she's were she's and he's were he's and theys were a collective group of people. Stop this. Anyway, the reality is this writer is correct in part. An actor or actress can be an absolute garbage person politically in either direction, depending on which way you swing.
She's holding... Those are Russian toys, man! Those are Russian toys! She's supporting Russians!
But still do a phenomenal job at their craft.
That's right.
The problem is, and I think this is what's being missed here, more often than not, when someone is aggressively left-wing especially, that tends to make its way into the entertainment that they're creating. Because if they are this active politically in their personal lives, they almost see it as their primary objective to be this political in everything else that they do. And then
what I think is gonna happen is that, again, everybody was mad at the Snow White shit. It's just that the overall movie was garbage. That's what I'm concerned about, is that in essence, the game itself is good, but because they're putting so much effort into appeasing these people that they have to work with. Yes, it came out. Everybody hated it. It sucked. Yes, it was a shit movie. It didn't have, like, I don't remember if it had any, like, quote-unquote woke injected into it. No, it didn't. It was just garbage. People didn't like it. It was just bad, period. It's not out yet? I thought it was. No, it didn't. Not out yet? Okay, well, the trailer was garbage, but, like, people didn't like it, and then they were like, oh, no, we're gonna delay it or something. It was delayed again? Yeah, because people kept saying it was garbage. All right, I'm misremembering, but you get my point.
And they get really mad when they realize that the vast majority of people probably don't agree with them and then express that disagreement on the internet. I don't know, you'd think they would have learned by now. The thing is, we've seen this actor-actress political manifestation play out time and time again in so many different projects as things become more diversity and inclusion driven. Ishii has made statements about abolishing the police and essentially said that those who support Trump also support fascism, racism, and homophobia. Wow, very original. Haven't heard that one before. And then everyone clapped. Ooh.
I'm just gonna say it, let people be what they really want to be. Like have your little designated circle of, like, having people do what they want. Just leave everyone else alone. Stop trying to pick fights and, like, raging and freaking out because people don't want to fight you anymore. They just want to play a video game, man. The whole, oh no, I have to use their pronouns. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't. Like, I have to bring up Baldur's Gate again. Baldur's Gate, you can literally have a chick with a penis. People liked that game. They loved that game. No one cared. Genuinely. Not a single person. There might have been like some fringe people like, oh my god, they have a chick with a penis in a fantasy video game? Oh my god! I just don't care.
Wow, so clever.
And you're gonna have sex with a bear. Yeah,
even
don't
if we
forget that.
disagree with Ishii's viewpoints, and even if we assume that she's changed some of her positions since 2020 when these tweets were made, which is obviously very unlikely, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, it is correct to say that her opinions and personal beliefs largely shouldn't play a role in the entertainment that she creates. But the likelihood of that actually being the case is unfortunately extremely slim, especially when you consider that other people at Sucker Punch who are working on this game are also pronouns in bio kind of people. So there's that too. Part of the issue here too is that our mate Erica...
You can put pronouns in bio, it's just when you start freaking out because other people don't do that, or if someone makes a mistake and misgenders you or whatever, that's when it's too far. It's like, I had an instance like that in my work one day where I accidentally misgendered someone and I felt bad, and I was like, okay, can we like move on after I apologize to you? And I just couldn't deal with it. When I had that feeling of like embarrassment, like, oh god, they're gonna go tell on me or something, but they were actually normal about it, then I was like, phew, okay, they treat me like a normal person. I don't care. Like, if you don't want to put him in there, cool, I don't care. But I also don't care if you have them in you. Fox in bio. Yeah, I'm a fox. Fox themselves. Fox yourself. I misgendered someone once accidentally, and unfortunately didn't go too well. Well, online, if I make a mistake, I don't give a fuck. It's online. Like, grow up. But if it's in the real world and that happens, it's kind of scary, especially when like your job's on the line and stuff.
Is seemingly already showing disdain for people with whom she disagrees politically, but also people who've had a negative response to the game. I know, right? Shocking. When this game was initially announced, many people found themselves blocked by the actress without even knowing who she was and without having
yeah, they ran a block list on her account. That's very common. Yeah.
Ever interacted with her. Some people even commented they found themselves blocked even after they defended her online. I will slightly defend this by saying that I too am quite hot on the block
we hit friendly fire
button these days, particularly on Twitter, because I am of the opinion that you can criticize somebody or you can disagree with them in a way that is respectful or joking or getting your point across without being revolting. But as soon as you're revolting, or I see you being revolting to somebody else, I'm gonna block you. I'm just gonna do it. Call me weak-willed and a baby person, if you will, but I think I've been doing this for long enough to know that being insulted in this large a supply just isn't for me. I won't.
No, it's not for anyone. Look, I'm gonna say it. I don't think her running a block list ahead of time without her like engaging with anyone is a bad idea. Maybe she can't control herself emotionally. Would you rather it be like the Godot situation where the person taking control of the main account like freaks out and like starts schizoing out on people? I don't know. I feel like it's their prerogative. Smarter to block and move on. I'm not even saying that. Like, if you want to preemptively block, like, okay, you kind of lost, but like move on. No one cares. As long as you're not continuously engaging with those people, it's like, okay, like, whatever.
I block my long-term reply guys, though, because I think they're some of my biggest fans. Some of these people have been around for years. Just admit it. You love me. Then I love you too. Overall point being, people are observing this woman's behavior, her political opinions, the political opinions of the people at Sucker Punch, and the inclusion of a female protagonist, and arriving at the conclusion that this game is going to be more of the same. More girl boss bullshit, more overly leftist storylines, and something that will never—
What is a leftist storyline, though? That's what I want to understand. This is why I don't... It just depends. We don't know yet. Maybe it's a normal story, but the gameplay sucks, okay? What political opinions, pronouns, and bio? Did you miss like the part where she was telling people that if you support a certain, you know, like if you're far left or far right, you should die. And if you support the police, you're a piece of shit. Look, I'm not gonna say that she's innocent. She has really strong, extreme opinions. No, referring to the people working on the game aside from her. I know, but she's the face of it. That's the problem. Yeah. I guess Dustborn was left the story. I mean, I guess. Yeah, Dustborn. The Far Light. Last of Us 2. I guess. I mean, again, it's such a convoluted thing to, like, get into. But it's like, if the story's good, I don't care. If the gameplay's good, I don't care.
Live up to the standard that was Ghost of Tsushima. So with all of this in mind, let's address this female protagonist issue that seems to have people very, very heated. While I personally don't find female protagonists to be an issue most of the time, I can understand the people who do, and I can understand in this case specifically why people are very upset by this. My friend and fellow YouTuber Endymion went viral after he tweeted his disappointment when he saw that the Ghost of Yotei's lead was a woman. He expressed that he was over the girl bossiness, so to speak, being shoved down everyone's throats. This is also what led to that former Sony exec tweeting that if people don't like the game, then don't buy it. Okay, challenge accepted. Endymion also made a video discussing this issue where he said that
I'm gonna be honest, I'm so sick of both sides, man. I'm sick of both sides being like, it's because there's a woman, and it's like, what if it's a bad game? That's what I really care about. Stellar Blade has a woman that you can play, and no one cares because she's got a fat ass. And it's a good story, apparently. And you get to kill shit, and it's sick, and it looks cool, and it looks good. That's what I'm trying to say, man.
while he doesn't necessarily have a problem with good female leads, he prefers to play as male characters most of the time. And I will link that video in the description box if you guys are interested in watching it yourselves, which you should do. It's quite good. Now, to be perfectly clear, it is completely fine to feel this way. Shocking, I know. People have preferences. Gamers have preferences.
Sure.
Who would have thought? I wouldn't say I typically have a preference here because I am perfectly fine to play as the giant muscular men, because why wouldn't I want that? But by the same token, I'm also completely cool designing cute little girl characters to play as, and I usually do that when I have the opportunity. And, you know, when I play Far Cry 5 for the 9,000th time, I will make Rook a woman once again, and then pretend that she's running around getting bitten by cougars and, you know, drop-kicking cultists. As God intended. But here's where I land on people being cross about this specific issue. Before diversity and inclusion invaded everything that we know and love, lots of video games did feature both male and female protagonists, and when a female was introduced, people didn't really think anything of it. Lots of video games have created new and different characters as a series has progressed and become more complex, and
I mean, for God's sake, we had Tomb Raider, a polygon, like, pixel PlayStation 1 game that didn't even have tits in it. It was literally polygons, man. Like, people didn't care because it just sold because it was a good game.
Again, people didn't think anything of it. I think the ambivalence towards a character's sex is probably more normal than abnormal. I don't personally have an issue with a female lead in a game, and honestly, on the face of it, I don't think many other gamers do either. But I think the issue here, much like with Hollywood films and shows, female protagonists are being shoved into games for no other reason than greater representation, and that becomes really obvious in the way—
But we don't know if they shoved them in or not. That's the... I don't know. Maybe it's just my opinion. I don't know until I see it. What if Stellar Blade was shoved in? What if it was just a hot guy that was like running around half naked? What difference does that make? I hate Sydney, by the way. She's allowed to have a differing opinion, and her opinion on, they, them, pronouns and stuff. Like, I personally don't care for that at all in any capacity. I respect it more when people don't care if I mislabel them by their, like, pronouns or whatever. I respect that. I'll try my best, but don't get mad at me if I fuck it up. Sorry. If it was a dude, his dick better have jiggle physics like Baldur's Gate 3. Exactly. But it wouldn't sell as well, you know what I'm saying? Obviously. I will get mad at you? Okay, man.
The character is written and the things she does. So her position in a game is no longer because she's a cool new character who just happens to be female, but because she's designed to push some sort of message about representation and inclusion. And I want to make this point as well, but I'm not really sure where it fits, so I'm just gonna mush it in here. I saw a lot of discussion around the parallels with this game and the 2023 series called Blue-Eyed Samurai. It appears some people who believe Ghost of Yotei will be bad because it lacks historical accuracy and features a female samurai, seemingly loved the 2023 show, which features a female warrior called Mizu on her quest to kill a bunch of people. I'll be vague because I don't want to spoil it. I confess, even I initially thought it was going to be more artificially strong woman girl boss bullshit, but I was honestly completely wrong. It ended up being so well executed, and Mizu as a character was so well written. On that front, I think Mizu and her story demonstrate—
See, this is what I'm saying. It's not, you don't know if it's tokenism yet or not. Again, I think that the game will speak for itself. I've never watched this. This is the first time I've heard about it, but if it's like this, then go right ahead. Oh, it's a Netflix show? Well, that's probably why I didn't hear about it, but yeah.
That it's not necessarily female leads that people hate. It's the fact that girl bosses tend to ignore every storytelling staple that make a good character. An article by Brandon Morse of Red State explained why it's harder but worth it to write good female action heroes. He argues that these female characters need to be portrayed differently to succeed. While a woman can be a skilled swordsman, for example, perhaps even better than her male counterparts, her journey to that skill is more challenging due to her physical limitations. This hardship makes her triumph even more powerful. However,
yeah, absolutely. Like the Mulan series, well, not series, but the movie, where they have a series of sequences showing that Mulan does not have the same strength, and she has to adapt. They removed the make a man scene. Oh my god, really? From the movie? From the remake? Yeah, and she earned their respect. Because they all thought she was a weakling, because they thought she was a dude, and she was trying to get in as to get smuggled into the army. Or not smuggled, but get into the army. She was just instantly a badass in the movie, and that's bad. I don't think it should be like that. At all. Mirror-suification? Yeah, the original movie, not the remake. Yeah, obviously. I mean, I'm talking about the original where they actually have a story to tell.
Modern storytelling avoids showing female characters as weaker, missing an opportunity to highlight their strength through struggle. Blue-Eyed Samurai, for example, handled this extremely well with Mizu, depicting her painful journey, embracing her womanhood, and showing her as a true warrior and not just a basic girl boss. And I think this summary is honestly more or less true. Regrettably, because we have been exposed to a ton of political messaging and wokeness in video games, particularly as of late, there is a hair-trigger knee-jerk reaction to seeing a female protagonist that is sometimes, if we're being honest, kinda undeserved. And it's sad.
I feel like, Sydney, I think you should have said that over here. See, this is where we're coming together. This is where I understand her point of view, and she's saying what I said over here at the start. Exactly. That's her video. She's cool, man. I just want a good video game. Ellen Ripley, their strong female character, well acted and written. Yeah, she shows that she's scared. And someone pointed out and said, oh, Dustborn was always political. Yes, so was BioShock Infinite. Except it wasn't shoved in your face the whole time that you're in a political war between the two factions. Yeah, BioShock Infinite was subtle. I didn't get it as a kid. I literally didn't get it right until the end. I was like, oh shit, it's literally in plain sight that it's a civil war. That's why it's a bad fucking game, because the storytelling is in your face, it's stupid, the fucking voice acting is pretty fucking bad too. It's all emotionless. BioShock was at least funny. I know people will say, oh, BioShock Infinite isn't even good, but like, I liked it, okay? I'm sorry, I liked the cheesiness of it, and it was, it was a pretty good game. Overhyped, yes, probably, but still.
Add that this issue has become a cultural powder keg because, as I've said previously and in a ton of other videos, there is always room to tell a great female-led story. I can also understand in this case why a lot of people feel disappointment that we won't see the continuation of Jin Sakai's story in the new Ghost game, and why they feel he was sidelined to shoehorn in another female-led story. Honestly, we don't know why this decision was made, but I do think it is a sign of the times that people automatically assume the worst of intentions.
Yes,
because that's the stage that has been set for all of us.
Because you've been fucked so many times, why would you not just spread your cheeks and expect the worst?
The bottom line here, in my opinion, is that there is nothing fundamentally wrong with bringing on a new protagonist, and there's also nothing fundamentally wrong with that protagonist being female. Ghost of Tsushima was extremely well executed as a game, and it's why people are likely having such a strong reaction to this next one, because we've been built up and let down again and again with sequels that undermine the excellence of the initial game or creation. But
chat, I don't think people would be as visceral if Sony didn't have Concord happen literally moments before. I'm putting air quotations, like imagine my hands going up. I don't think people would care half as much. And that's generous.
But despite all of our many reservations, based on what we know about the original game, and based on this alone, there is no real reason to believe that Ghost of Yotei will be terrible. And personally, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this a little bit. Despite all the controversy here and the nonsense and the crap that goes along with everything in these entertainment spaces, I really do hope that this is a good game, and I hope that not only me, but everybody who likes this kind of game actually enjoys it. I genuinely really hope that it lives up to the hype of the original game, and I also hope that it does well this female lead, as well as telling a really great story. Ultimately, it is really sad that Western game developers in particular have traumatized players to the extent that each and every game is scrutinized this much. But in the end, I firmly believe that this is yet another case of you reap what you sow. And I hope that Sucker Punch is smart enough to do right by fans rather than invest in political messaging.
Oh yeah, speaking of Sucker Punch, was Suicide Squad made by Sony too? Was that made by Snoy? Yes, okay, yeah, there's another one. Wait, no, Rocksteady. Oh, Warner Brothers, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was made by Warner Brothers, not Snoy. My bad. Yes, Rocksteady, that was it.
Now, before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder, check out HelloFresh using the link in the description. I've actually used HelloFresh, and I had done so long before they contacted me for this sponsorship, but it's a pretty cool opportunity now to take advantage of their free breakfast items. Now, I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you somebody who believes that this is a complete overreaction to the initial trailer, and that everybody has lost their minds? Do you think that there is—
I think that people digging up the actress, what she said in the past, is really unhinged, but she's also fucking unhinged. It kind of just indicates, so we'll have to wait and see. I can't make a judgment until it happens.
reason why people are feeling very concerned about this upcoming game. Do you think it's legitimate, that it's illegitimate? Are you of the opinion personally that this game will be woke and terrible and that it's already dead in the water? Or are you on my side of the fence where you think, hey, I'm actually going to give it a chance and super duper hope for the best and maybe potentially be wrong, but at least I'm being positive about it? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you are not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well as leaving this video a like and a comment because I do read the majority of them. And I like your feedback. If you have a video suggestion or something that you'd like me to look into, feel free to let me know because I do look into them and I do have a running list. But as always, in the interim, I will see you wonderful, pretty people in the next video.
Oh, she calls you guys pretty. What a nice lady. Chat the, oh my god, guys, again, be the better person. Even if you disagree with someone, it's okay to have a discussion, a civil one.